Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update video. This is going to be another one on the Korra Nendoroid figure. We got it teased yesterday and now we have full pre-orders, description of the figure, full images, basically everything we need to know about this figure before release we have right now. So really quick turnaround on this, so let's just get into the details. I will discuss the images themselves and how I think about the figure later on, but let's just go through the product description. The listing, obviously right now the pre-order is up on goodsmileshop.com. There's also information up on just Good Smile's own website, and obviously the figure is called Nendoroid Korra, confirmed, and we have 5 images, though 2 of them are basically the same. The product description that we have is basically, first of all, it just says available for shipment to the United States only. Now this seems to be a limitation that a lot of major manufacturers seem to have with regards to the Viacom license, in that is Wire, who make their own figures, also seem to have that limitation. They can't ship directly to any other country outside of America. They have to get other sellers in who can then do that. So obviously other places will sell this. It's just a really weird thing that straight from Good Smile you can't get it. Or it could just be a general Good Smile thing, but it seems to be very specifically with the Korra stuff that they can't do it. But then the actual description of the figure is, Avatar Aang's successor Korra is joining the Nendoroids. From Nickelodeon's The Legend of Korra, the sequel to Avatar The Last Airbender, comes a Nendoroid of the main character Korra. She has been shrunk down into a cute Nendoroid size with a tough, confident expression that captures her unique personality and charm. Korra can be displayed with her feet firmly grounded, preparing herself for battle, or instead displayed jumping through the air with special bending effect parts. Her hair is fitted with joints, and effect parts each have their own stands that can be moved around to suit various different poses. Copyright 2016 Viacom, Nickelodeon, Legend of Korra, logos, all that sort of stuff. Interesting. Release date that we have is 2016/11, so November 2016. They're saying that the announced date of this is today, so this is the first day the pre-orders are live. And specifically from Good Smile, they are saying that the pre-orders are open until 6th of July, which is kind of weird that they're only leaving it open for like 6 days or something like that. I do have that correct sometimes. Let me just look at this again. No, it's definitely saying that. Order closing date is that. Not sure. Oh no, sorry. That's for a different figure. The orders are closing on 10th of August. So you've got a good while to order this thing. And then I assume other places will get pre-orders up as time goes on. So yeah, November 2016 is the release date. They are saying that it is a painted ABS and PVC non-scale articulated figure with stand included, and they're saying that it's approximately 100 millimeters in height. That's 10 centimeters. So it's fairly short. You know, it's a pretty small figure. I suppose it's going to be similar in height to these Wire chibi figures. But the price, I suppose, is going to be the thing that I think turns a lot of people off. I knew Nendoroids were reasonably expensive but high quality, but the Korra one, they're retailing it here for 4,800 yen, which currency converted into euros for me is about 42 euro. That's not including shipping. That's not including other sellers will probably sell it for a price higher than that directly from Good Smile plus extra shipping. So realistically, like if I was to consider getting this, it'd be closer to 50-60 euro shipped, but we'll have to wait and see once that actually comes out. Right now it seems that Americans can get this for a decent bit cheaper, so that's good, but I'm not really sure, how I feel about the price just yet. I do think it's a little expensive, in that most of the other Nendoroids are around 4,200 yen, and this one is 4,800. Is that, part of a license thing where like they can only sell it for a certain amount or what? But it's not the greatest thing there. So let's actually get into, like, do I think the figure is worth it in terms of what it comes with? Do I think they could have done more with it? Let's actually talk about the figure now that we have a full look at it. So you've been seeing some of the images here already in the video, but let's actually just talk about the images individually here. The first two are obviously the same. They're just ones with a white background, ones with the actual stands you can see in the background. So I think it's only really worth talking about the ones that include the stands. So the first one we can see here is a front-on look at Korra in the jumping action pose, featuring the stands and stuff like that. So in general, the general look of the figure I think looks really good. It fits in the Nendoroid style, but it also really reminds me of Chibi Korra and Korra in general. It definitely looks like the character. I think they've nailed the general body proportions, the look of Korra's clothing, the colors, the paintwork, and the head and hair I think is all really well done. I like the effect parts. I like that. I initially thought they were just kind of completely painted plastic before, but now you can see that it's actually transparent plastic. So we got blue for the water, painted white, and then for the fire we have red transparent plastic painted yellow and orange to make it look like fire. So that's a really cool way that they have it. And then the fact that there's kind of 3 stands that go into the base. One for the water effect part, one for the fire effect part, and then one bigger one for Korra herself. That's really cool, and it gives you a lot of options to display the fire, the water any way you want, and stuff like that. So I think it's really well done and looks quite good. The image of her from the back, you can see how it connects in. There's just a little hole in her back that obviously the stand attaches into. They do mention in the description below that the figure does not stand can't stand on its own and requires the stand. So even though they mention can be displayed with feet firmly planted, it means just that you can have her not hovering in the air off the stand. It's just she still requires the stand for balance. So that's to be expected with chibi figures where the head is like most of the weight of the figure. But other than that, this just gives you a better look at the transparency sort of stuff, and that yes, there's little bits of paintwork on it, but it is kind of different colored plastic and stuff like that. So the effect parts look good. Maybe not the best kind of Korra avatar bending effect parts I've seen, in that I think while the color is good, I think the shape of it is kind of weird, in that to me it just looks like almost the exact same part, just colored differently, as opposed to like one really looking like a lot like fire and one looking a lot like water. That could have been a little bit better for me. Next image, though, is more of her on the ground and gives you a look at the base. So the base is just a general square plastic base that has a bunch of little peg holes in it. And obviously that means that you can choose to place the 3 stands in any one of those peg holes and display Korra anywhere you want. So there's a ton of options with this, which is always nice. And then this gives you a look at the feet. A closer, you can see that you can actually see some of the leg joints here, so you can actually move the legs. There's some joints there. I think based on the way it seems to look there, what would you call it, her little kind of animal kind of skin kind of thing that she wears around her waist, that looks like it can kind of freely float, and potentially she has a waist joint. And then by the nature of the fact that these come with removable arms, the arms can swivel up and down, and then she obviously comes with different sets of arms depending on that, because you can see in the previous images that she has her left hand is a fist in the first one, but it's open here. And then you can see that her right hand is pointing kind of in the first one, but in the second one it's kind of back in a martial arts pose. So she comes with 2 sets of arms, so 4 different arms, 2 lefts, 2 rights, at least what they're showing us right now. And then other than that, is there anything else that's overly different? It looks like one of her legs at the very least can be changed, if not both, in that you can see when she's in the air, she has a kind of like high knee type pose where she has her knee up high in the air and the other leg is like really straight. And then for this second pose, you can see that she has her other leg kind of slightly bent, but not as bent as in the first one, and then the left leg is straight but not fully straight. So there are two sets of legs, it seems like, as well. No separate heads this time round, though they do mention in the description that is, I think, partially because she has her hair is fitted with joints, so that's probably why you can't actually do a kind of head swap thing that you would usually do on these, in that her head just has joints for her hair, so you can display her hair in different ways. Now, I suppose trying to figure out those hair joints is a little bit interesting. It looks like they've kind of layered the hair in such a way that like you can almost swivel her pigtails back or something like that. I'm not really sure. Her ponytails. It's kind of hard to really get a good idea on that. It potentially looks like you can just move the hair so it's kind of slightly off her face, and there may be some joints there. I'm not really sure how that exactly is going to work, but it specifically in the description mentions joints in the hair, so it's definitely something to keep an eye out for, but maybe is not coming across the best right now. So that's basically all I wanted to say. I think it overall is a little bit pricey for what it is. It's a 10 centimeter figure. I don't think it comes with as many accessories as it perhaps should have. This is leading us to believe that there are just an extra set of legs, an extra set of hands, and the two effect parts. I would have honestly said almost drop one of the effect parts, add in like a little naga, a little paboo, something like that, or just something else that's just another little accessory or something like that. The problem obviously is that kind of Korra doesn't really use weapons, so like what else can you really give her? But something like a little rock or something like that, a stone that would look cool, that can attach into the stand as well, so you have an airbending thing and an earthbending thing. If it's just water and fire, as cool as that is in terms of her home element and then the element that best represents her personality, it would have been cool to have one for each of the elements. Now, to be fair, they haven't listed exactly what comes with this. They've just kind of said, special bending effect parts, and the pictures have shown off 2 of them. We don't know exactly how much stuff is actually going to come in the kind of packet once obviously it's actually out. So, weird one. Realistically right now I'm probably not going to get it, just because it's a little bit expensive, and paying that much for a chibi Korra when there is a chibi Korra statue available from Zwire for a reasonable price, that's kind of hard to stomach a little bit. But I hope it sells well, so that Good Smile will realize that Avatar Korra is popular enough, and they can make Figmas, which is another one of the lines that Good Smile have, and they're much more articulated, show accurate characters that are actual proper action figures that don't just have a couple of joints. They're fully articulated. I'd much prefer a realistic looking Korra in that line rather than this. But if this comes up for a reasonable price online for a pre-order, and it's not going to be too much to ship to Ireland, I can maybe see myself putting in a pre-order for this. But just right now, it's a little bit expensive for what it is, I think, is my ultimate kind of opinion on it right now. So in the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on this now that it's been fully revealed. Will you be pre-ordering it? Are you interested at all? What do you think it should or should not come with? Just basically everything here that we're discussing about this. But other than that, that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.